Hey guys, Chart Stopper's back with another video. In this channel, we take a look at different stocks and map out their key support and resistance areas on their chart. It is important to know these areas before buying any stock, and it's also important to know what kind of a trend a stock is in before you buy into it. Support and resistance is one of the most important things you should know about a stock before you either buy or sell. And also, if you're doing any day trading, swing trading, or options, you are definitely going to want to get familiar with support and resistance. Just to let you know, I'm not a financial expert. These videos are for educational purposes only, but I am here to point out key factors on the charts which do impact the price action of a stock. I provided a link in the description for Webull if you can use it to start an account and get 2 free stocks, and I also provided a link for Robinhood. You could use that to start an account and get 1 free stock. Just to let you guys know, we will be doing 3 videos per week on 3 different stocks. So if you have a recommendation, leave a comment below and I'll try to get to it. Okay? So let's also don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification button so you don't miss out on any videos. Okay, so let's get into the market today. Today is April 30th, 2021, and as you can see, the S&P 500 is down today, 0.65%. The Dow is also down 0.61%, and the NASDAQ is also down 0.52%. So you could see here around 11:30 this morning, we hit our lows of the day, and we're trying to recover a little bit off those lows. So everything is kind of red today, not much going on. A lot of things are down, and we're going to be taking a look at Golden Nugget Online Gaming today. And I wanted to do a video on this one because it is a pretty good stock if you haven't heard of it, and it's at a pretty good price target right now for an entry point. So that's why I wanted to cover this one, and we'll be looking at their chart and seeing what we can do. Okay, so the Gold Nugget is currently trading at $14.95. Right now, it is pretty much flat on the day. It was down this morning, and it has recovered pretty nicely. It's up 0%, so it's flat on the day, okay? And their market cap is $1.14 billion. Their 52-week high is $27.18, and you can see here on the chart that we hit that on December 28th of 2020. And since then, we have, gone through this correction, which started in February. But you could see here on the chart, even before the correction, during January, we did lose a little bit of value. And the reason for that is we hit our 52-week high, I think, before the merger happened. And this was a SPAC, so you could see the steady growth during the SPAC process. And after the merger was completed, you saw a sell-off right here, okay? So that's why you saw a little bit of people selling. And after the sell-off, after the merger, we ran into a correction also around February 16th, around this area right here. So you could see the sell-off right here post-merger. And then this is where we ran into the correction. And the correction just pretty much took out a lot, almost every growth stock, and pretty much cut their value like in half almost. So it was no different for this stock. We lost a lot of value from the top. If you bought in up here, you're really not looking too good right now, because this thing dropped all the way to a low on March. Oh, actually, yeah, it hit a low on March 30th right here of $12.22. So the correction really hit this thing hard, and a lot of people lost a lot of money during this. If you sold at the bottom right here, it wasn't good for you. But if you're holding, we have seen some recovery since the correction, and we're hoping to break out of this downtrend that I have right here marked out in these 2 red lines. It's been trading in this channel ever since it hit these all-time highs. You could see it's been, coming up on this channel, hitting the top line, and it's also hit off this bottom line about 3 or 4 times here. So it's a pretty good channel that it's been trading in, and it has yet to break out of it. So let's just quickly go through the support levels. As you could see right here, we have our bottom support around $12.75. That's where we bottomed out at during the correction, and we also it was also a previous support area when it was a SPAC right in here. You saw it touch off this line a couple times during the SPAC process, and then now post-merger, you could see it's holding support right around this area. Okay, our next area of support is where we are currently trading at, which is around $14.23. That's our next support area. You could see it has held up before the merger right in here. That was a former support right about where our 50-day moving average is, marked in the dark blue right here. And right here you saw it touch off this support line and recover nicely, and right now it's kind of holding that support line right now. So that's the area I'm looking at for now, is $14.23 for support. If that gets broken in the near future, we will see this thing drop to this next red line right here, which was $12.75. Okay, now our next resistance we are looking at is we want to see this thing break at $17. Okay, it hasn't been able to break through yet and hold. You saw it break through here briefly, and it just dropped right back below it the next couple days. So that's where we want to see this thing break and hold to move on to our next level. So we're going to be looking around that $17 area, and that's what we want to see hold and continue going up. Now after that, we have another resistance point up here at about $18. So, you know, the next dollar after 17 is around 18. You saw this thing had a little bit of trouble pre-merger, breaking that level right there, and it also has not been able to hold right here. So you could see it did briefly, you know, open up above that, and it quickly fell down and closed below that on that day right here, which was March 16th right here. So moving up, we have our next support line around $20, about $19.69 is where I have my line. You could see right here that was a former resistance point. It couldn't break through there and hold anything, and that's where we'll be looking at if we end up breaking this $18 mark. That we'll be looking next is our $20 mark. And after that, I really don't have much resistance. You could probably put resistance right here around $12 or $22, I'm sorry, and 90 cents. So we could put a line in there if we wanted to for our next resistance point, because you did have a little bit of resistance right in this area. But there's not much. There's not much to go off on this chart right here, because, this was a SPAC and we're going off of post-merger now. So you could see there's not really much back here to support this as a resistance, but we can see it did have trouble before breaking through this point. So that'll be our next area we will be looking at if it does end up breaking through this $20 mark around here. And that's a pretty big open area to see if it can rise up to that. And of course at the top, I have my top resistance point marked down at $25.50. That's where we would like to see this thing close and hold above that level to move on to our new all-time highs, which would be $27.18. So we want to close above $25.50 to see a nice move towards our new all-time high, if it does make it back up there. Now, there's not much news around this stock. It's tied in with the gambling industry. It's an online casino basically, so they do make nice revenue. They are profitable right now. There's not much news around the company. Their CEO is Tillman Joseph Fertitta. Their headquarters is in Houston, Texas, and they were founded in 2015. They have 178 employees. So, it pretty much gets tied in with the whole DraftKings thing with the online gambling. More and more states are adopting and making it legal in their states for online gambling. So every time you hear something in the news about that, that's when you're going to see a big jump in this stock. It's closely related to DraftKings, and it pretty much goes off that. Now, we recently did have some analysts come out with their price targets, and the price target was, I think the last one was around $24 right here. So that's our price target right here from analysts. And, you know, you could see the tremendous upside that this company has because they are profitable and the gambling industry is growing. It's going to grow exponentially in the next couple years. So you could see we have tremendous upside for this growth stock right here. And if we do end up reaching our $24 price target, you're looking at, you know, almost a double up right here. If you did buy down here in the 12s, that would be a double up. So 100% gain. You have a lot of upside with this stock, not a lot of downside because, you know, this correction has really cut this value in half. So, you know, you could see the downside risk would be around $12.75. That's where we bottomed out at during the correction. You could see we hit that once, twice, and almost a third time. So we almost had a triple bottom there. And I think there's a lot more potential to move up than down. So you have a lot more reward than risk in this one right now. So this would be a good time to scoop some of this up, maybe nibble on it, see what it does in the next couple days. You could see we're right on this trend line right now as where we're trading, and it's hit off this trend line once, twice, you know, 3 times, 4, 5, 6 times right now during this correction. So it looks like it's ready to break out of this downtrend and hopefully move to the upside. So it's kind of been stuck in this downtrend, you could see in this channel right here for the past couple months since December of last year. And once it finally breaks out, you know, with the analyst projections and a little bit of good news around this stock, I think it would propel it way higher than it is. So you have a lot of upside with this one, and I think it's a good time to get in. And they also have their earnings coming up on May 17th. Pre-market, so be on the lookout for that if you're holding this stock or if you're looking to get in. That might be a good time to jump in this thing because it might be trading sideways until earnings, and then you'll probably see a big jump after earnings. After their last earnings, they didn't really do much. You know, they recovered a little bit after earnings. It sold off, and then you saw a couple days later it did recover. So I think we're going to see some good numbers from them with more and more states legalizing gambling. And I would be on the lookout for this and jump in right now if you wanted to. I think it would be a perfect time to get in. So that's my video on Golden Nugget Online Gaming. If you guys liked it, be sure to hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And we will see you next time on Chart Stoppers.